Hi, everyone. Welcome. Craig Shoemaker here, longtime stand-up comedian, and have developed many friendships through the years. And those are most of our guests, are people that I've known for a very long time. And we have a kinship in comedy that is just something that's very hard to explain, but perhaps you've had it with family members, friends you went to high school with, whatever it is. Those people you bond with and share laughs with, you just have that core memory, which is fantastic. And that's why you can even not speak to the person for a long time, but that memory, that meme is still inside of you. You remember what it was like when you met and when you hung out and those wonderful times, perhaps jokes that were told or pranks that were played or whatever it was. And this our guest today is one of those guys. We go back to the 90s. We were in comedy together, but also he was the top radio host, like a guy that in Pittsburgh, everyone knew his name. Everyone, DVE, WDVE, anyone in Pittsburgh knows WDVE. It helps that they cover the Steelers too, because it helps that they had these funny guys in the morning, and they cover the Pittsburgh Steelers. And there's no other town like Pittsburgh for their rooting for their team. I travel the country. There is no. You go at anyone's house in Pittsburgh, you go to their basement. They always have a basement where they put, grandpa eventually, and they have a paneled wall, and there has to be an old Mel Blunt glass that they got from McDonald's back in the early 80s, and it's just passed on. It's like that's a relic in Pittsburgh.
That's true.
So I'm going to, truth be told, I love to tell the truth. It's a big key to comedy. I booked this day of guests because this guy happened to be in town from Pittsburgh, Jim Krenn. Jimmy, so it's amazing that I get to interview you.
Shoot, this is cool, man.
Role reversed.
It is. It's funny. I've listened to the show here, obviously, and seen it, but you said, like, there's some people you meet in life, and it's like you just pick up where you left off, and you cannot see him for a couple of years. And I think it's one of those things I was thinking about you, and people should know this because this show is enlightening in sense, but I'm not just saying this because you're my buddy, but just so people know this. I've known for almost 30 years. I think the reason is you're one of the most genuine people I've ever met. It's just the real deal,
Thank you.
Perfect.
It's amazing to me that there's half the people that say that. It's very nice, and thank you.
It's true.
And half the people think I'm a dick.
Well,
it's amazing to me.
That's what I love about you. You're both imperfect and perfect at the same time.
Well, there you go.
You're who you are, and you were since the very first time I met you, and I think that's why I connected with you. Well, also, you really were. You'd kill me. You were probably, I think you're maybe one of I'd say top. Maybe best. I'm serious. I'm not. I know you think I'm just saying.
One of the
funniest
best
comedians that came on. Yes, that made me. There was always somebody. Hurricane and you.
Yeah.
Were guys. I couldn't breathe when I was leaving. I just couldn't breathe, and it was you and this guy. Were the two.
There's
guys.
something about it though. It's the medium, and this is unusual, by the way, to have this medium because it's different. You don't do resets. You don't have commercials. You don't have to worry about FCC on you, right?
Yep.
But I would always walk the edge of FCC and still be able to make the adults laugh.
Yes, and the characters are off the charts. Just out of nowhere, just kill me.
And you do them as well. I think that's why you were brought on to WDV back in the 90s, and you were brought on because you did a lot of impressions.
Yeah, I was working the comedy circuit. The comedy clubs were booming, and I was working out of Dangerfields in New York, and I was going to come here.
Wow. You're going to come to L.A., yeah. And that was your dream, but you're from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I was going to move out here, and my good buddy, Dennis Miller's brother, Jimmy Miller, was going to be a manager, and a guy named Rick Messina, a great manager.
Sure, and Jimmy Miller ended up managing Jim Carrey and Will Ferrell, and the list is endless. Judd Apatow. Yes, Jimmy Miller has done very well, Dennis Miller's brother.
I was going to be his guy to manage, and one of the guys out there, and I was going to move out. And before I went out, I thought, been on the road. New York and Pittsburgh are kind of close, and my grandmother and great-grandmother were alive at the time. My mom, thank God, she's still alive, and a lot of family members. I'm a neighborhood guy like you.
Yeah.
So, my friends are like family.
And the business is inconsistent, too. You can never depend on it. Even if you're with the best manager, the best agent, you don't know what's happening tomorrow. Mm-mm. They gave you a what's happening tomorrow.
They did. And
give the opportunity.
I was home for 4 months before I went there. I'm going to go home for 4 months. And I went on the radio station, WDVE, I did a show, a club in Pittsburgh, and they said part of the deal is to go on a radio station. I'd done some radio here and there for clubs and stuff, but there was something about this show. It was a rock and roll show. It was in 17th and out of 20 stations, so it was low in the
I didn't know that
at the time.
Wow.
And I didn't know that either at the time. I knew nothing. So it was, I could just about say anything, but I started doing a bunch of impressions, whatever. And they were like,
as a guest?
As a guest.
Oh, okay.
As a guest. And did like a 5-minute thing, and I left. And the program director said, hey, could you come back next week? And I thought, this was fun. I enjoyed it. I said, sure, why not? It's not far from the house. And
your first impressions that you were doing back then was like, this way back, it was like Richard Nixon.
It was like,
these damn yinzers go to Permanis.
Yes, like we do like about that Jack Nicholson and some of the classics back then. Those guys.
Right.
And, Pee Wee Herman, whatever. It's like whatever was
I know
hot.
you are, but what am I?
Yes. And at the time, right, I was,
The fat lady got her tit caught in the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. We can
We should just do
bring back
dueling
Pee-wee.
90s
Yeah.
90s impressions that were very hot in the 90s, and people now go, what the hell is that? I was with somebody last night. She's in her low 30s and had no idea who the B-52s were or the song Rock Lobster. I was trying to describe, I went to see them, and the people that used to see them were there, right? Who are now older, and they're doing down, down, Rock Lobster, down, down, and you go down, and people couldn't go down as far, and they couldn't get back up.
Hip replacements are going so far.
You would hear cracking.
Yes.
It sounded like you're stepping on a bag of Doritos. And I'm telling her the story. She has no idea what Rock Lobster is.
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
It is.
We're in that fourth quarter, buddy.
Well, it's
I
like,
love it.
when you think about it, it's like our parents. We had no interest. My mom would talk about Tyrone Power. I've never seen a Tyrone Power movie in my life.
Yeah, exactly. That's us.
So, yeah, my mom would always be into these stars, Rock Hudson, and you would watch these things with Doris Day. You're going, who is this? Like Que Sera, Sera. No, I'm not singing that. I'm singing Led Zeppelin, not Que Sera, Sera.
Exactly. We're rocking.
That's right.
The Stones, but the Stones are still going.
But
and
now
thankfully we are.
And we are too.
Thank God.
But now we are that now.
Yes.
We are that. The kids are saying, what the hell are you talking about?
And it's interesting, though, the transition you have to make as a comedian. Now, Pee Wee Herman no longer, and now I was just talking off the air about a new one I'm working on. It worked. It was in San Luis Obispo in a comedy festival, and it worked. I worked on it just for the festival. I worked on it for 6 months. I've been watching Yellowstone. So I worked on Kevin Costner.
Did you?
Forever. So finally get him. And
I should learn how to do that. I look like him.
You do. You know what?
I've been mistaken for him.
Because I've watched so much
I'm
Yellowstone.
hoping it's the Field of Dreams version, not the current version. He's older now.
In the middle. You look younger. I
told you to play his little brother on Yellowstone.
Yeah, you didn't age. You're good.
So you have one now?
I have one. And what it is, how I angled it was, I did a lot of charities for different charities. So one is for Animal Friends it's called. And so I got like 7 dogs. I got a lot of dogs. And my mom watches the dogs, so I'm out of town. It's true. Mm-hmm. And one dog, his name's Gizmo. He's 20 years old.
Wow, yes. That's old for a dog.
He's a weird breed. I'd have to bring a photo in next time, but he's got like blondish hair, wispy, blue eyes, and he looks like Kevin Costner in Yellowstone, 8 pounds. Mm-hmm. If you could picture a little dog face, with real soft, bluish eyes, and he just looks like Costner. And a real true story about him. He has 7 pills he takes for his heart. Shoo, I'm not making this up. One of them is Viagra. Swear to God.
No.
Yes. For 3 years.
The dog's on Viagra.
For 3 years, he's taking.
Is he a boy?
Yes. Half a Viagra in the morning, half at night for his heart for 3 years. Now, that's the funny thing. The vet is like 30 minutes away from me, so I'd have to drive out and get the pills. And after a while, I said, Dr. Aaron, is there any way you can call him there's a drugstore, there's a Rite Aid next to my house in South Side. And be so easy. Oh, yeah, Jim, I could just put him under your name, generic, be like $5. Where? Oh, okay, just put him under. Shoo, I'm not kidding. For years, for 3 years.
I'm visualizing now the pharmacy, and they all know you.
Yes.
You have to go in for like your freebasing Viagra.
It took me about the 3rd month that I realized that Bill, the pharmacist at Rite Aid on Jane Street in Southside,
thinks you have ED.
Thinks I'm a machine. I am getting 30 Viagra clockwork. And it's like every
a machine with a broken gear, though.
with a broken gear.
Apparently. So.
But he felt responsible when one time he had like 27 pills, and he goes, I'll get the 3 more by tomorrow. And another, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh, I don't have the heart to tell him unless he watches. Bill, I'm sorry. I still, till this day, he doesn't know.
That's hilarious.
I walk in there with an attitude. I'm like Josh Brolin. I do. After about a year of it, he idolizes me. I'd walk in now. Hey, Bill, what's going on, man? Yeah, you got my pills ready? I don't want this place to go sideways, baby. Thank you. All right, see you next month, man. On the clock, baby. So Gizmo gets his half and one. So the bit came where I said.
So Gizmo's now Kevin Costner.
He's Kevin Costner.
That's where I see this going in the bit.
Yeah, so that's what.
By the way, you ever go to the pharmacist and say, "Hey, can I get it over the counter?" And he says, "Yeah, if you take 2 or 3." Sure.
Yes. So the bit was like, I said, you look like a weathered Kevin Costner, Giz, and if you could talk, everyone wonders what their dog would sound like if they could talk, So I thought, all right, Giz, you're Kevin Costner. So I said, I got to work on this Kevin Costner impression. I finally got him, and I do the bit where I say, Gizmo's sitting in my lap, and he's looking at me, and I do the Viagra thing, the story, which is all true, by the way, right into God. So Gizmo's sitting on my lap, and I say he's looking out like in that Yellowstone kind of. He's been there and done that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And Gizmo just looks at me as Kevin Costner. He goes, I got to tell you, Jim, I've been a dog for 20 years, and I've carried the world on my little shoulders. It's not been easy. And I got to tell you, 20 years ago, you got me neutered. 20 years later, you get me Viagra. You sick son of a bitch. I had to drive you myself to the train station. So the train station joke got a lot of laughs, which was interesting. People watch. He's all right. It's not bad.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you ever, when I was younger, do you ever do impressions of an impressionist's impression?
Yeah, I started,
That's how I started with Rich Little. I would do I would imitate Rich Little imitating whoever it was, like Jimmy Stewart.
Yes. And you pick it up. My guy was Billy Crystal. When I was a kid, I remember watching him doing Howard Cosell.
He did Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad, you're not the same man you were 10 years ago. This is Crystal's pen. Howard, I told you, Bob, you're not the same man you were 10 years ago. So I just did an impression of him doing his bit.
Right. And hoping that your voice matches a little more.
Yes.
Because it's a tenor that happens. It's like something that happens with your voice. I used to do a ton of impressions.
You do. No, you killed me with the impression. The Don Knotts is like the quintessential, one of the greatest impressions ever.
I looped him in the movie Pleasantville. I was him for half the movie. I watched it the other day. It was so weird. I was going, that was me. You
were done.
I had to be him as an old guy. That's how much I do him. He channels through me.
You can even do
My new one is Morgan Freeman.
Oh, please. May I? Could you do him?
Sure. I mean, what can we put him?
All right.
We could put him in. I'm the pharmacist.
Okay.
I'm a pharmacist as Morgan Freeman.
All right. Hey, Bill.
In 2019, outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, famous former radio DJ Jim Krenn walked into my store once again, wearing nothing but a set of muddy prison clothes. Had a bar of soap and a rock hammer nearly worn down to the nerve. He was in there for some more Viagra. Apparently, he was doing more than digging. He was digging. That man was digging for gold every day. Did he find it? Apparently, yes.
That's killer, man.
That's my new impression. And when I do cameos, sometimes I'll do Morgan Freeman wishing happy birthday. Now the bummer is because I'm white.
Yeah.
I'm only 14% African, but no one knows it.
Okay.
Just my DNA chart says it.
Okay, there you go. I haven't done that yet, but that's good.
You haven't done that?
Not the DNA thing, no.
Oh, the 23andMe. You swab yourself.
I'm in. I got to do it. Yes.
You got to try it, man. 14%. I'm from Ghana.
The Morgan Freeman's killing me.
Yeah. So I do it, and then they have this app where you can actually look like the person. So I did it to my friend. It's as far as it's going to go. There's no way this is going to get out. it's me as Morgan Freeman so it's basically modern blackface. And I can't do it. I can't send this out. It's very funny, but that's what's weird about the racism thing. It's like your intention is just to do an impression.
You're a good spirit, yes.
Well, it doesn't matter like what their ethnic background is.
Right.
You know, if you can do somebody who happens to have pigment that's different than yours, you should be able to do the impression. But you know, nobody gets up in arms if I'm doing what I used to do, Andy Rooney. You know, nobody got up in arms. You know, people with big eyebrows. Did you ever notice the size of his eyebrows?
Yeah, nobody's saying.
You ever notice?
What about me?
Impressions who do them are very, very insensitive, wouldn't you say?
Bugs me. I mean, so it's
true.
People don't get up in arms about stuff like that. But eyebrow people could, because that guy had some bushy eyebrows.
There could be an eyebrow group out there.
He found his old contract in those eyebrows one
yes,
day.
He did. Yes, he did.
Andy, nobody knows.
They turn into butterflies every March. Right around now. Back then.
I used to love doing
awesome.
impressions, but they're hard to do now because we're in such a society that people don't know who you're doing anymore. Even modern people, they're gone so quickly because they got a hot TikTok video and then they're gone.
It's hard to pick the right person. Like for that dog bit, like I said, 7 dogs. So what started the whole bit wasn't really Gizmo. Well, he does look like Kevin Costner, but what started, I have a dog, Snoopy, who's a Beagle Weimaraner mix.
Yeah.
And he's got a pointy nose, piercing eyes. He looks a little bit like Liam Neeson to me, but he barks like Liam Neeson. He's got this deep bark, and that's what started the bit. I'm like, wait, he sounds Bow Wow. Bow Wow. Get the damn door. I'm not going to bark all day. You know, I'm waiting for the call. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. I don't have much money. I'm a dog. But I do have special skills. Skills for a man like you to be a nightmare. So I do.
And I will use them.
I will use them. So that's it. You got to find characters right now.
I'll pee on your leg in a second, my son.
I will hump your leg.
I will hump your leg.
The one I worked on.
So we could do adults.
Yes.
We could do adults. It's hard to do, you know, the up and comers.
It is.
Like when before we were doing take one, you looked in the camera, you said, I look a little misty. Right.
Yes.
Instantly it goes to an old impression I used to do with Johnny Mathis.
Which is stuck in my head now.
Look at me. I'm as faithful as a kitten up a tree. Hi, I'm Johnny Mathis.
So, I mean, that's what it brought up. But I don't know. I don't have a modern reference.
No.
Here's Schoolboy Q doing Misty. You don't even know who Schoolboy Q is.
No, I have no idea.
My son is obsessed with Schoolboy Q, right? He's a big rapper. He sells out stadiums, and I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I golf with the guy, and I have no idea of one song. I had to finally listen the other day.
Was he shocked that you didn't know Schoolboy Q?
No.
Did he say, well, you didn't know?
He didn't know. I told him Charlize Theron. He was not impressed. No. He's... Like, no, he had no idea who Charlize Theron was.
Wow.
Yes. Well, first of all, there's different culturally, and when they're younger, they're not interested in anything over 40.
That's true. Different world.
Now, if you are watching this or listening to this and you are under 35, I would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
I would love to hear that I want you to spread the word. Because my people, they won't even be here next year. All right, so
we're dying off slowly.
I want you to spread the word.
Lucky if I'm here, hopefully.
It's horrible. It's horrible. That's why I had you in so quickly.
Yes.
You eat that Pittsburgh food, man. You keep up that Permane Brothers. You ain't gonna be around for long.
Yeah, we do.
You eat that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I still eat it. Yes.
The Permane Brothers.
I get it on Uber Eats and I bring it to me. Bring me my Permates. Feel like a king. Bring me my food.
Oh, yes. Pittsburghers are not going to like that you have it through Uber Eats.
I know.
You have to go to Permane Brothers.
Yes, but I have a lot of miles.
As if it's not bad enough for you. It's stacked so high. It's actually 5 sandwiches in one.
I'll bring
Then
you one.
they add French fries in the sandwich.
Oh, one stop. You don't have to mess around. You got everything in all your food groups in one
Love
sandwich.
that you just turned into Pittsburgh. I don't have messed around there.
Yeah, my Pittsburgh East Country.
Yeah, you got just go downtown there, and now I got Uber.
I got Uber. You're talking about Steelers down in the cellar watching the game.
I cannot stand that accent. But Philly's worse.
Well,
Philly's worse. It's the worst accent. I will admit it.
I love Pittsburgh. Obviously, I'm a Yinzer. And I love Philly, and I love Boston. I love the fact that the neighborhood type, it's like our own language in each city. That's what I love about it. It's our own little fraternity. We're allowed to do it. No one else understands it, which is cool.
You know what?
And I have friends in Philly, and it's funny. I do love the fact that they have their own little insight. It's our own language.
It's our
All
own
of us.
language. And
Pittsburgh.
you know what's very cool about it? You know, with the woke community, you can't say certain things. Like I had Caroline Ray the other day is yelling at me for saying the word master. I said, we're masters of comedy because you can't use that word anymore.
Wow.
So
Really?
who's making this law?
Wow.
And so now I send her things
what
every
other
day, by the
word?
way. I send her every day. Every day I'll send her, hey, I'm getting my master's degree.
I was going to say.
I said, these guys are they have a master class. They have a thing called master class. But she's like all upset with me. I said, no. There are certain things, and there's certain people that can get away with things.
Right.
I'll give you one. Now I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it's like the N word. You can say it if you're black, right? It's just so silly, though. It's so if you have a bad intention, if you're calling someone something, but if you're using it in the proper way. But I say the Boston people with that stupid accent, they can get away with the word retard.
I love Boston.
And by the way, technically, I'm not saying the word. I'm not saying the R word because it's odd.
You mean
they go, what do you go, a retard?
That's a Boston thing. That's what I love about Boston.
And it's okay.
I understand.
Now, you put the hard R on there, just like
that's bad.
Just like the N word, put the hard R, it's a whole other word. You can't say it.
It's I always think, my grandmother used to say, it's written on your heart who you are.
That's right. I agree with you.
She's right.
Your grandmother's awesome.
Right.
I agree with that. It's all about your intent. I always say to people that have a problem with me, I said, just clarify. Ask me what you think I meant.
Yeah.
I had an argument with someone, not an argument. I don't even go there. I don't even argue anymore. She says to me, you're talking down to me, the mansplaining. And I walked away or drove away after she hung up on me.
Right.
And she said, I'm going to hang up now because you're not understanding. I go, what are you talking? My full intent was actually, in that case, was to just be kind.
Yes.
And be, listening. And she's, you're not listening to me. And then she goes, can you stop interrupting me? And I stopped, literally. And then she's like stuttering through something. I went, when do I come in here? When's the permission? Do you have like a button you press? Boop. Now you can speak, Craig. And it's this ridiculous thing because people walk into things with sensitivities and then it turns into their projection.
Yes.
And they're all guilty of something else that they might be offending someone. You know what? You being offended offends me. How's that? That's my comeback. You're offended. You offend me by saying you're offended because you're ridiculous. So many times people are ridiculous. Look at the intent. Now, listen, there's a lot of bad KKK racists out there.
They're horrible people.
They're horrible people.
Written on their heart. You could see
it's
it.
written on their heart.
You can almost feel their hate.
You can feel the hate.
Right.
I feel racism all the time. I have complete compassion and empathy. But if I say something, like, I mean, the other day I was golfing with Schoolboy Q, right?
Yes.
And
I'm kind of jealous. I don't even know him, but I want to meet him.
Well, we were at
Love to meet him.
we were at this amazing country club that he can't get in normally, and I took him there, right? Because he's black and a performer. By the way, I'm not even invited there. Apparently, they don't like anything, even though it's L.A., they do not like anything to do with actors,
Really?
musicians. Lionel Richie has a mansion on the course, can't play the course.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true. And apparently, I think it was Dick Powell, this old actor. They said he wanted to be a member, and they said, "Oh, well, you can't. You're an actor." And he goes, "Apparently, you haven't seen my movies," or something like that.
I wouldn't be allowed in there.
But the Playboy Mansion is also on the course.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So there's this. So now my friend takes Schoolboy Q for a little tour. Like it's right next to the green. So they disappear for a little while.
Right.
Schoolboy Q comes back. He goes, he's like, man, because they have this thing in the back. They have like a zoo. He goes,
Yeah.
man, what's up with him? Takes a black man to a monkey cage. And I lost it. I was on the ground laughing
funny,
so
Yes.
hard.
That's-
But it's like, this is how we should be able to talk to one another. Just
Yes.
have fun. We were having fun. There was no, Fred was not intending on taking him to this
Nothing means.
something racist, but, and also his intention on the joke was not to say, what a racist, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? It's just,
It's written on our heart.
we all need to lead with our hearts now. That's
Yeah.
what this show is about.
It's about, yeah.
Blending the comedy and the laughter with like a spiritual development. And I know you're really into that.
I am, Shu, and I firmly believe, and I learned that early in my career, especially on radio, how, and obviously your charity, laughter heals. It does heal,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And it's amazing how powerful it is, and it really humbles you as a performer. I remember was on the radio for 24 years, lucky to be on for 24 years. But I remember my first year, and I remember sitting there and starting to get known a little bit, and a young lady called and said, "Jim, you have to be funny every Thursday at 8:35. So far, you've been not letting me down." I said, yeah, I will. She goes, yeah, I have to get my dialysis. I got diagnosed a few months ago, and you're the only thing that gets me through it. To get to listen to you on the way to it gets me through it. And I was like, man, if anything, that's what we're here for. That's that.
Do you think enough comics understand that they have this gift and this power?
Unless it hits them, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that most do.
I don't think they do like that. Not that power.
Now, my theory is, I wonder what your theory is on that, and how comics really don't connect with the heart of it, the level of spirituality of what we do. I don't think that most people, period, understand it. And I have several theories on it. I think it's sad also, because I do think that we are truly consciousness leaders and mindfulness leaders. Mm-hmm. We are as comics. And like I'll say it again, that's why this show is titled what it is. It's why we have guests like you on the show that get it. Most of the people do get it. So do you have a theory on why? Have you ever thought about that? On this disconnect with this comedian from people who really, really have a deeper version, a purpose-filled reason for what we do?
I do, and I think it's a fortune of having the right people around me. Maybe my grandmother, again, one of the most incredible women ever. Mm-hmm. I used to second year or so on the radio, and the show was blowing up, #1, and billboards everywhere. So he's huge, $500,000 billboard campaign. I'm just a kid from the Strip district of Pittsburgh, right? Man, out of nowhere all of a sudden.
They had your fro up there?
Yeah, my big mullet fro going 20, I'm 25, 26. And it was a rock station, the whole deal. And so I would pick my grandmother up on Wednesdays and take her to bingo on the south side of Pittsburgh. So I'd pick Grandma up and take her to bingo. I'm driving, and I was at a red light. And there's a 100-foot billboard of me.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I'm like at a red light, look at Grandma. Look at that. I'm into it. She goes, Sonny, she goes, that's not what you're going to be remembered for. Because I know what you're doing. You're making a lot of fame and everything here. I said, you're only going to be remembered by what you do for people.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to be remembered. That's what you should be remembered for. That's why you're given that gift to do that. I said, now use that. Go use that. So it's cool.
And what you are doing for people don't attribute when they're laughing that's being done for them.
Right.
We're inviting them into that space.
Yes.
A healing space, a blissful space.
Right.
And so my theory on it is the reason comics don't get it is they're so caught into the self-obsession, not realizing that that's the gift that they're giving. Yeah. Being sarcastic about it, cynical about it. Comics are very often cut off from their hearts because they stay in the mind.
Right. Well, some are there for certain different reasons, like fame. Fame is an aphrodisiac, so maybe that can drive someone.
And what's wild is I try to teach this. I've been there, and there is nothing good about it.
No, it's not natural.
And by the way, your fame is so fading. You can see this if you're watching on YouTube. Look at my article in New York Times. Like, people are jealous of this. It's now in sepia. It looks like it was from from the Civil War.
I got the same photo.
It's like, look at this. They called me a sitcom waiting to happen, and now all it is this faded thing in the background. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
James Taylor's song, That's Why I'm Here. Fortune and fame, such a curious game. Total strangers call you by name. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's kind
total strangers call you by name. Yeah, it's true.
It's interesting. It's a blessing also. It's appreciation.
Of course it is. But that's not the fame that's a blessing.
Right.
It's the awareness of you that's a blessing, because then you get to spread the message further.
Yes.
That's the only reason I want to, have more followers, is because I believe that we have something. We have an alternative message to what's out there.
I've gotten confirmation that's
right.
About 5 years ago, I did this show on Nickelodeon called Action League Now, and I did like 5 voices. And I used to do it from Pittsburgh, New York. I put the headsets on. I do the voices for this kid show at Nickelodeon. Awesome. And I got a letter. So the kids are about probably 8 or 9 years old, whatever they were, 7, really watching the show. So now they're like in their 30s, whatever. So I get letters from time to time, or emails and whatever from people. But I actually got a letter from a kid.
Handwritten. From a kid?
From a kid who was 30 now.
I know it wasn't in cursive.
Yeah, no. It was,
they don't even know what cursive is.
No.
My son didn't know how to sign something, a contract.
I understand.
They have no idea.
That's a whole different world,
just
man.
Just put lines together. He had no idea. It took him about 20 minutes to sign
digital
a document.
Sign. That's it.
That's all they have.
DocuSign. Let's DocuSign that. So it wasn't a DocuSign. It was a real letter.
By the way, signatures are even out now.
No, you just
I literally just go.
That's what I do
and
too.
It accepts my credit card every single time.
It never fails.
You know who's out of business? Ford forgers.
Yes. They can't do it anymore. I changed it all. I changed the
No
squiggly
more
line.
forgery. You know,
No.
Catch Me If You Can. He's out now.
He's think of the past. Forget about it. You can't do it. You can't DocuSign for it. You can't forge a
You
DocuSign.
can literally put ink on your ass and then slap the document on your ass and go, oh, that's good.
Has anyone ever checked? No one checks.
No
when
one
you're,
checks
I'm at
anymore.
like a wherever.
They approve
store,
you
drug-
every single time. I've tried other signatures. I go left-handed now, just to see if it works with a pinky.
I'll tell you what.
I do a pinky left hand.
For the next 6 months till I come on again, I'll sign Craig Shoemaker. You sign Jimmy Krenn. All right. Every time we go to
I
the
got news for
store,
you. My Craig Shoemaker looks nothing like a Craig Shoemaker. I'll show it to you right now. It's
Okay.
unbelievable.
you just do a C like that.
I don't even think I
Nothing.
do a C it. I think it looks
do
sort
a
of like
line?
it looks like a retarded X.
You just do little.
Who did this? Oh God, I love that Boston accent just for that moment, just for that word.
It's getting a cock. Come
There
on.
are certain people that. Oh, here's one for you. I saw Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
Kills me.
The English can say the
Yes.
C word, and I don't even know if I could. Maybe if I
can?
imitate him.
Yeah, that's okay.
He goes by. He goes
right.
by this schoolyard. This chunky kid with red hair. He goes, hey, pedo, you know, like a pedophile.
Yeah.
He goes, it's something like, he says, well, if I were to go for a child, it wouldn't be you fat ginger cunt.
So you can get away with it.
Yeah, see, I'm going to get
flows.
nailed on saying it, but just understand,
No.
folks, that was my bad Ricky Gervais impression.
That is-
English can say the C word because it's nothing to them.
And doing an impression, we get away with it. Remember that. That's the rule. That's the
you know
rule.
who gets away with it?
Who?
Ventriloquists.
Oh, they get away with murder.
Jeff Dunham literally has Ahmed the dead terrorist. If I say Ahmed the dead terrorist,
trouble.
I'm in trouble.
We got signs
But
out there, yes.
He has another guy. He's a pimp.
I want to be a ventriloquist just to do this.
He's a black pimp.
He's got.
I swear to, I'm not even kidding you.
Speaks
He's
through
a
his-
black pimp. And goes, what's up? What's up, my homies? I could never do that.
No.
As me,
I could be your dummy.
I would love to go out and go, what's up, my homies?
Yes.
I love the word homies, but I
would-
can't say it.
I would
It
have to
sounds
be
very
your.
white.
I would have to be your dummy. That's the only way it could work. I know it's amazing.
I've done that before, by the way.
Yes,
I have someone sit on my lap. I do.
Is it
Oh,
an
that's
act?
how I get away with it. Oh, yeah, I have one of my kids.
It's a good routine.
I'm down to only the last one.
Okay.
She's the only one that'll do it anymore. All the rest
They're
are,
all hip to
Dad,
it.
please stop.
We're done. We're done, Dad.
I always say to them,
Draw the line.
I get them. Oh yeah. You like your new car? You like your new place? You like this luxury life? Well, get on my damn knee. This is how I earn my money. Damn it!
Like,
But they still won't
okay,
do it.
no.
I press their back when I
can't-
want them to open their mouth like
Can't-
the dummy, and I go, "Hey, what's up? I'm playing." I have one. I have my son go.
Can't buy them.
I'm playing, and he gets the hardest word for. Your town is the worst for a ventriloquist. I'm playing in Pittsburgh.
See? It's-
I'm Pittsburgh next week. And my son goes, and I have my son look at me and go, Pittsburgh? It's not a tit, it's a tit. It's a tit. Crick.
Actually, that's not bad. You're pretty good ventriloquist.
Not there. Look at that.
Well, he's not moving.
Right now, it's not looking on YouTube. Right now, motherfuckers. They're going to check it out on
You're
YouTube.
killing me. Look at this. He's not. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed, for Christ's sake.
Well, I thought about doing that, because they make
should do
they
it.
win America's Got Talent. It's
They
a freaking impression.
sell
I
out
mean, the
arenas.
ventriloquists.
They sell out arenas.
Impressionists are out.
Yes, we're out.
We're out.
We're
There's-
out.
You tell me the last
Not many of us
impressionist
left.
that made even the finals of AGT.
No, we're
no
done.
impressionists because there's no one to do.
No.
There's
There's
no
no-
one
well-
to imitate. The one guy went a little far. He did a Star Wars thing, which everybody knows Star Wars.
What's fun?
You do a bunch of, I do a lot of Star Wars.
What I'm trying to work on people that no one, like you said, there's no one to do, but there are a couple like George Clooney. I'm working on.
Oh,
So-
wow.
so-
Let me hear that.
I'm starting to get George Clooney. Starting to get the voice. Not quite yet, but I'm getting there. He's got that kind of enunciates his words and kind of like just has that head bob or just like kind of. He's not talking down to you. He's just like bobblehead kind of thing. And just a handsome bobblehead who enunciates his words. And I'm getting there. So it's taking time.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's starting to get.
Wow. You know what I just did? Wow.
Who's that?
Owen Wilson.
Oh,
wow.
yes.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Owen Wilson, George Clooney, and see,
Together they're con.
we're bringing them back. Shoemaker and Krenn, Clooney and Wilson.
I do love impressions.
See, I do too. I mean, it's
one
fun.
time,
They're
one time I was
fun,
on my
right?
way. I knew Chris Rock was opening for me.
Okay.
Believe it or not,
That's
but
killer.
he was doing it
Could you
because my
imagine?
audience is really good. and He was rehearsing for the Oscars.
Okay.
and I never realized I could do Chris Rock until I was driving there.
You got to do a little, please.
And then the problem is I have to curse.
You're-
What you look at that motherfucker? I'll never forget.
That is dead on.
Backstage,
Do that again.
I didn't think he knew who I was. This happens to me all the time. I thought I was like nobody knew me, but they always turns out they do.
Yeah, they
so
do
he
know
knew,
you.
not only did he
They
know
know you.
I said I moved out here with one of his writers, Richard Jenny, who was an amazing comedian.
loved Rich.
I moved out here the same day as and John Mulrooney, big time. Had his own show on Fox for a while, but nobody knows who he is anymore. So
Very funny
I
guy.
told Chris Rock this backstage at the Comedy Magic Club where I was headlining. He was going to go work on his Oscar material. Had all these writers in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You Jenny Mulrooney? You Jenny Mulrooney?" He was so impressed by that because we were like, he thought we were like superstars, you know?
Shoot. That is the greatest. That kills. That is on the money.
Yeah, but
I'm an impressionist. That's on the money.
actually, everybody does know who he
That's
is.
a killer
So I
one.
could do that one.
The-
Comics are kind of easy to do because they have their own rhythm.
When you met him, it's probably something about you're an impressionist. Like we said, we do impression when we were kids, but we became our own, doing our own impressions.
Right.
And that's what you do. And so meeting him, like when I met Mike Tyson, that's when I was able to do Mike Tyson.
You can't do it to his
I did.
face.
I did.
You did not
No.
do it to Mike Tyson's
No,
face.
not to his face.
I
But
do one. There's no shot. I've known him
would.
for a while. There's not a shot that I'm gonna.
I would do it to his face. Did
you do the myth?
No, it's not. What happened was I was covering the Super Bowl
Yeah.
in Tampa for Steelers in Arizona. Anyway, there's this party.
I was there.
Okay, remember that they parties every night?
Yes, and the Radio Row and all that. Yeah, sure.
ESPN party, Playboy party, this party, Maxim party at the time.
I happened to be there.
So this Maxim party is a big thing. So anyway, my buddy Rod gets tickets to it. And they're hard to get tickets to this thing. So anyway, there's all these celebrities there, and and here we are. And he goes, "Hey, there's Norm from Cheers, or Jessica Alba, whatever."
Right.
Mike Tyson's in the corner, and there's no rope around him, but there's like imaginary, like people just like if they're just looking at him, but it was like 10 feet. No one's getting near him, just staring at him. And there's a big bald guy, strong. Mike Tyson needs a bodyguard. Isn't that strange? So he's there with a bodyguard, and there's Tyson sitting there. He has a drink. You know what I'm saying? They go, "Rod, I got to say," because no, you shouldn't go in there, man. No one's getting. I got to. I said, I got an in.
Wow.
It was a buddy of mine, John Saraceno, who's a boxing writer for USA Today, and I know John said he's good friends with him. I'm gonna have him on,
drop.
I'm gonna have him on a show. Name drop. I'm gonna have John on a show on Radio Row tomorrow. So Rod's like, whatever. So I break through.
You did.
And Tyson looks. The guy goes, and Tyson waves the guy off like, let him
he's
in.
okay.
He's okay. So I come up. And I go, "Mr. Tyson, I'm a huge fan of yours. And all that. I'm nervous."
Mr. Tyson, you called him.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tyson.
You know he's like your age.
It doesn't matter. He's this wide, solid.
I know, yeah.
Not real tall.
No,
not real tall, but
not at all.
I may be a little tall, but he's right here. But he's wide, and solid.
Yeah.
So he's I guess, I said, John Saraceno is a writer. He's going to be on the show tomorrow from Pittsburgh. Tell the whole thing. I'm just babbling. He hears John's. I swear, not making it. Puts a drink down, and he bear hugs me,
Wow.
and his face is buried in my chest.
Wow.
And he gets emotional. I swear to God, he starts like not crying, but all, like I hear muffled, and that's how I get the. I'll never forget it. And he's squeezing me like real tight to you, like a bear, like this. And I couldn't breathe. And I'll say, I hear muffled. I hear, "John Saraceno's a very good friend of mine. Please tell him I said hello when you see him." "I will, Mike." And he goes, "No, I mean it, please. Please tell John Saraceno I said hi. That's all I'm asking you. Just please tell him, okay? I promise. And he's like, "Let me go," and I ran away.
You didn't do the impression of him,
No,
though.
not till
I
later.
thought you said you did impression to his face.
No, but I
which
would. I would if myself, because I'd say, "Mike, this is what happened."
It's so funny how when we meet celebrities, you have to have the line, right?
Yes.
You have to have the thing that it's going to get you in.
Yeah, so they don't just like brush you off.
When I first
right?
got to
You
Los
need
Angeles,
something.
I used to go to Martha's Vineyard on vacation with my friends, and my friends said they saw Jack Nicholson riding a bicycle with Angelica Houston. This is many years ago. I just moved to L.A.
I love your
and
Nicholson, by the way.
I go to his club. He had a club called Helena's, and I couldn't. There he was. So I'm going. I got the icebreaker, and I go,
like,
"Hey, nice to meet you. Were you riding a bike in Martha's Vineyard a few weeks ago?" He looks at his big gut and he goes, "Does it look like I ride a goddamn bike? Haven't seen my dick in a year." You know,
Exactly.
That was the worst opening line I've ever heard, you jackass.
He was a little bitter towards you.
So yeah, he did not. He didn't like my icebreaker, and
You
it
did
turns
that.
out my friends were full of it. It was not Jack Nicholson.
Oh, really?
No. He told me he was not riding. Does it look like I ride a bike? No, he does not ride a bike.
Oh,
Now,
man,
one time
that's
on radio,
awesome.
have you ever been on radio? I mean, you've been on radio
Yeah.
a long time.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you ever imitate someone and pretend you were them the whole time?
I have, yes. I know what you're saying. I know you mean like it permeate, kind of get caught up into them, and you like
Well,
that.
not
or
only caught up in it, but just you are that person.
kind of.
I did it in Detroit. I was
who was
Michael
it?
Jackson.
No.
When the glove was missing, he was in Detroit, right? And I pretended I was him. I am not kidding you. They thought it was him, and they were calling in, "Is this really Michael Jackson?"
It's okay.
And you did hold the yes.
It's okay. You can speak. I love you.
You do. It was.
I love you so much.
I couldn't come out of character. I was
that's-
so
really?
committed.
You got
No,
stuck?
never did.
The whole show?
I swear to you, this is true. You can look at call these guys.
The jock said to be going nuts, laughing though.
Huge, but they were now getting so many phone calls. They're going, "You can't break character."
I wouldn't have been able to breathe, man.
Oh, they were losing it
I couldn't breathe on
because
that.
everybody was calling me up to talk to me as Michael Jackson, and I had to be empathetic and everything.
It's okay.
Everybody had to talk them down off the ledge. Suicides if you don't speak to me. It was horrible. So I am not exaggerating. They had to call a limousine for me because there were people waiting outside, and the limo
meet
had to
Michael.
pull right up to see Michael. And they put a trench coat over me, and I've got size 12 feet. And I'm this big 6'2", 200-pound
There
guy,
he is.
pretending I'm Michael
Yes.
Jackson. I darted into the car.
You ruined their whole thing.
Hello, people.
Boom! I ran into the car. So it sort of got me in trouble.
Oh, that's funny,
Almost,
man.
Almost. I mean, I really could have been nailed on that.
I've never done that to that extent.
Oh, you never to that extent?
Well, I just did a bit, like running gag. That's what I meant. Like I used to do Michael Jackson with that he was really this tough trucker. And it was all an act. And I'd call in like, I can't do this moon dance thing anymore. And he goes, hey, you're on the air. Oh, sorry. Hello, how are you? Like he had his alter egos. Yeah.
He's another one you can't do. He's dead.
Can't do. Gone.
Listen.
You got to keep getting new ones.
Listen to this transition.
All right,
This transition.
All right. Let's go.
This is how good we are from coming from radio.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we're all getting old, and
Yes.
people are dying. You want to stay alive a long time? Have some vitamins.
Give me that.
These are your present today.
Thank you.
It's Hyest,
All right.
Hyest.
Huh.
It's molecular hydrogen. Okay.
Okay.
This is the type of vitamin that we all need. Everybody needs this at any age because people don't realize. Look, you and I have been taking vitamins for days. Remember one a day? We took one a
You're
day.
going way back, yes.
No, actually, we didn't
Remember
take them.
those?
We laughed at our parents
Yes.
for taking them. Geritol, we used to laugh at that.
Yeah.
If that was around today, I'd be taking it. But there are new modern
We would
versions
be.
of it because with technology and with know-how and science, we do advance.
They're
And
the real deal.
This is the most advanced vitamin you can have. Now, the vitamins we took, what did they make you do? Come on, let's see if you can mind meld me this one.
It's like,
What do the vitamins do
usually? It was like
usually?
vitamin C thing.
No, but what do they do to you? You don't know that they're working.
I don't even remember.
The only way
Nothing.
that you think that they're working is what? Do you know the answer to this? Your pee is yellow.
Well, this is true. This is true. Thank
My
you for
pee,
remembering.
I can
reminding
guide
me.
boats into a foggy harbor. He's peeing. Go that way, mate. I'm telling you, I have just unbelievable. But those vitamins don't work. You're peeing out all the yellow. That's all the good stuff.
But this stuff
is
works.
Hyest. This is it's big time anti-inflammatory, which is you've got to have anti-inflammatories.
Yes,
Anyway,
we
I'm going to
do.
give you this
Thank
gift. Other
you.
people go to. What is it? Hyestvitamins.com. Oh, geez, I should know the website. All right,
all
we'll
right.
put it up. We'll put it up.
I'm all
right.
in. Thank you.
So everybody,
Stu.
here you go.
I'm honored. Thank you very
I'm
much.
so happy.
I appreciate
you
this.
came all the way from Pittsburgh for that. Well,
Wow.
anyway, listen, this has been a blast.
I love talking to you, man.
I love talking to you too. I mean, by the way, is Ethan? Are we talking about Ethan there, Gordon? Just give me the word. Are we talking about it? Oh, listen to this. You get another gift for coming.
Thank
So
you.
what happened? I'll tell everybody what happened is I called Mark Eddy,
Yep.
who's actually going to be a guest on here someday. I bank these shows. They go one after another. Mark's sitting outside. He's the next guest.
That's how we work. That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. But I'll have a different shirt on, make it seem like it's another day.
Yeah, it's like next week.
Yeah, I'm not going to change the pants or the shirt, or the pants or the shoes.
They're good
Anyway, so we have Jimmy answer because on the phone. He's visiting Mark.
Yeah.
Never visits me, just visits Mark. Okay. So he said, "Hey
I
man, what's
miss-
up?" And I said, "You're in town." He goes, "Yeah, just for one more day." I go, I normally do my podcast like every few weeks, but I'm going to have it tomorrow. I'm going to book my guest tomorrow, all because of you. Probably our least famous guest, but in 412, I'm killing it. I'm going to get the burgers.
Huge in the Berg, baby.
Get the burgers. And then Mark Eddy, Youngstown. Woo,
Yes,
man,
he is.
I'm going to be huge in Youngstown.
You got all of Western PA and Ohio covered,
exactly.
baby.
So that's I had you in for many reasons. Number one reason, though, as I said, I knew this is one guy that's going to get what I'm doing because you are one of those guys. You're one of those heart guys. I understand where you got it now from.
Yeah.
Got it from your grandmother.
Yes, I did.
Lead with your heart. You always have. With the talent, and that's the best mix you can have, right?
No, you're genuine. I mean, that's you from they said at the
You
beginning.
get it.
So I'm
So
here, man.
as a bonus, I have an Ethan Cole candle for you.
Thank you.
These
I'm
candles
a candle
are
guy.
You are not.
I am a candle guy. Yes, I am.
Oh, you're gonna freak. Actually, let's bring one in. Let's bring
Please.
one in for him right now
Please.
because Gordon, our producer.
I have a very sensitive nose. I'm into.
Wait till you see this. Oh, look at this.
Thank
He
you.
sticks it up. You know, I'm going to use an old reference. Just his hand came into the shot. It was like Thing from the Addams
Yes,
Family.
another reference that we only
They're
know.
creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together, ooky.
The Addams Family.
Look what he chose for you. I bet you this is the one you'll like, Jasmine.
I like it already.
This is natural, and it has a wood wick for the fireplace sound. Okay,
There's a wick.
So we got
wood?
Ethan. Oh,
Don't
geez,
throw that one. I'm going to get
smell
that
is
after.
unbelievable. This is going to be yours.
I gotta get this. I can't wait to smell
Here,
it.
just reach across here.
Sure, I gotta
Come
get it.
this.
Wait,
Come
I'm
get
sorry.
this. Come get this. Look at that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, I want him to smell
Let me
this
be
live
honest.
on the air.
I'll be honest. Wait.
Okay, it's all natural. He uses all natural scents. There's no chemicals in there.
I got to tell you, I'm a huge Jasmine fan. This is awesome, man. This is fantastic.
That candle's doing it
it's-
for you?
It's really, really nice.
That's
notes,
one of
very
our
mellow.
parting gifts that we give here at Enlightened Up, the podcast.
Thank you.
Enjoy that. Here's your lid. You have
help
a
my,
lid.
Help
so
my life
when you're-
get better.
Hopefully, you'll get that on the on the airplane.
Yes. Yeah, really. You'll see
Now
me
they're
arrested
confiscating
later.
candles. I think it's the TSA. They just go, "Hey, I've got a candle for Mom's birthday.
Hey, I got a Jasmine
I'll
candle.
just take this from the guy and tell him it's illegal.
Vitamins and candle will make out.
This could be C4. Sorry, I'm going to take this Ethan Cole candle. Go to ethancole.com. It's Ethan with a Y.
It's wonderful.
We'll put that up. We'll put the vitamin. We'll put the vitamin. I'm telling. And let me know if the vitamins are working for you.
I will. That
you
my
told me
Viagra.
how young I look, right? You said
do.
right.
You
It's
do.
the vitamins.
I'm telling you, Shu, you haven't changed.
It's
You
the
haven't aged,
vitamins.
brother.
I feel great with these vitamins. But anyway, I hope you feel great today, everyone. See that segue? I'm an old
nice.
school radio guy.
Smooth.
I hope this was a pleasant experience for you. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Special guest Jim Krenn. I love this guy. How can we see you on social media? Find you social media?
Just my fan page on Facebook's the best way. Just Jim Krenn.
Oh my
fan
God,
page.
you're so old school. Do you have
Aren't I-
Friendster still?
aren't I-
AOL? Cranking up the AOL? What's wrong
I'm
with you?
just old
Even
school.
I'm beyond just
yeah,
Facebook.
I got
You gotta have
exactly.
Instagram, bro.
I got it all. Yeah, I got someone much younger than me taking
You
care
get
of
somebody
that.
younger than you
Yes.
downtown there. You go down there and you
At
get
Jim
you get,
Krenn and all that.
Oh,
yes.
you do have it.
I have an
Okay.
at Jim Krenn. Yes.
You're the best. So great that
got
we
someone smarter than me running
changed
it.
our entire schedule for you.
Thank you,
Jim
Shu.
Krenn, our guest,
It's
and
an honor.
Go see me wherever I'm performing. Go to craigshoemaker.com. Please sign up on there for my newsletter. You'll find out everything that's going on. We have a lot of things going. This is our studio. We produce TV. Watch thewolfpack.com. That's Wolfpack with just a C. Go there and check out the business show. We're about helping the world get better, and that's what that show's about as well. So listen, take this with you. Enlighten the fuck up, will you? See you next time.